Let me stop smiling. Actually, no, that's
Your
good.
smile is pretty.
Girl, I cannot. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it. Well, hey everyone.
Hey you guys, it is your host Nina Simone and co-host
Julia Brunetti.
Okay, and tell them how you spell Julia, just so they.
Giulia.
Period. Okay, she's unique.
Yes.
So welcome to our podcast. It is called Becoming Her, and we are so glad that you are joining us on this journey. This is something that I feel has been long overdue for me personally, but I think everything happens at the right time, when it's supposed to, with who it's supposed to be with. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically what Becoming Her is going to be all about. You can expect us to talk about femininity, growth, self-discipline, self-love, all types of things, self-discovery as well. It's just gonna be a journey. We're basically taking you on our journey, on our personal journeys. It's almost like a video diary.
Totally.
Almost, basically. And it's like we're journaling and writing in our diary, but we're just verbally speaking it. So, be prepared for tea times, okay? You just never know what to expect.
There's gonna be guests.
Yes, male and female too, because we would love to get the male perspective on what a man looks for when a woman is becoming her. You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean to a man as well? That's interesting. I've never really thought about that.
And I think also to really get the man perspective, because I'm sure that as women there's a lot of things that maybe we expect or we want, and we might not fully understand about men, and vice versa, men about us. So I think it's going to be very interesting to have that exchange, between men and women, as far as what we expect, what we feel, how we feel, and so on.
Definitely. Okay, so how did this journey start? What made us start this journey?
What made us start this journey?
Child. Let's really get into it. So for me personally, what made me want to start this specific journey called Becoming Her, it was just, I feel like I was just repeating the same cycles over and over again, and mainly when it comes to men. The dating pool, I feel like is pretty bad. It's pretty poor. We don't have a lot to choose from. So I think I look for something consistent, because all I've seen in my life for my 26 years on earth now has been consistency. My father has been consistent with me. My mom has been consistent with me. My aunts and my uncles, my grandparents, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's still together. Everybody's still working hard to make things work and not giving up on each other. So I think that what really pushed me to do this was I'm done repeating the same cycles. I don't want to do this my whole life. Okay, I want to do better, because when you know better, you do better. So now it's time for me to go ahead and really reflect on what it is that I might have been doing wrong, or some things that I could work on internally. And it started with my confidence, and just remembering who I was, okay? Because I feel like I forgot for a second. You know what I'm saying? I almost forgot who I was. But this journey has opened up I feel like a brand new woman, honestly. So I'm in a new era, and I feel like
I'm a brand new me.
Period. And I can't be touched now. So I want to keep the same energy going, and that's what made me want to start. What about you?
So for me, it was actually more about breaking generational trauma. There was a lot of people pleasing, a lot of not putting yourself first within my family growing up. Really starting from my grandma. I wonder if it started from my great-grandma.
Could have.
But it went from my grandma to my mother, just kind of passed on to me. And so I really just kind of lived my life, my 25 years of life, just in function of other people, making other people happy. And then that totally reflected into a relationship, to the point where I would not have any boundaries or respect myself. Because it would be all just about the other person, and it went down to even tolerating certain things that I shouldn't have tolerated, and that really came down from a place of not really putting myself first, loving myself first. And I was actually married. I went through a divorce. I'm here in America by myself because I'm from Italy, and so I kind of, after my divorce, found myself to be completely by myself with no family, not really that many friends. And so something just snapped in me where I was like, okay, like, I need to change this. And I could see the pattern into the different relationships with me and my ex-husband, my mother and my father, or my grandma and my grandpa. So I really could just see the pattern, and I was like, I need to break out of this pattern. And so that's where my journey started, as far as understanding where the pattern was, why it was presenting itself, just getting that awareness and trying to figure it out how to break that generational trauma. And I actually think it's very interesting how, and we said this before, but how despite kind of having like two different
upbringings.
Yes, you know, two different upbringings, we still share a lot of the same emotions and life experiences. And I think that's part of what brought us together. And yeah.
I find that is crazy though, because my parents, like I was saying, my parents are still together. My family members, like aunts and uncles and everything, they're still together. So for me, I've seen nothing but love, but consistency, but hard work in relationships. Because of course, it's not going to be just, you're not going to love your partner all the time. You know what I'm saying? But you have to like them sometimes. Sometimes you're like, you know what? You better be glad I like you. You know? So, you know, I feel like love is not enough. And I think that with me knowing that and me seeing that, I just don't think a lot of men that I have come across have really understand what it is that I've seen and what I expect. And this isn't to say that any of them were bad guys, you know what I'm saying? I think I've actually ran across some good men. I just think our differences, you know, it just clashed, basically. Some values weren't the same, and that's important. Having the similar values will also kind of help the situation as well. But yeah, so that's kind of where we stand. And you said your parents they're not together? Yes,
no, my parents are not. Really, almost nobody in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Dang.
I think it's really just my grandparents on my dad's side. They're together, even though that's a different relationship dynamic. That that's gonna be for another episode maybe. But yeah, no, pretty much everybody around me, you know, wasn't able to stick together, which actually created that desire in me to be able to break that generational trauma and find something pure, something long lasting, something sincere with a genuine connection and, you know, loyalty, respect, and so on. Because I really wanted to have what I've never experienced, what I've never seen. That's what I believe that exists.
Period. Because it does.
You know?
Yeah, it does.
So I just decided to believe that it exists and I can have better, you know, that it can be better. So,
period.
And I will have better.
Okay. And with that being said.
Yes, with that being said.
Let's get into some more stuff. All right.
So, well, with that being said, that actually reminds me of a very powerful quote that I know, which is, awareness gives you choice. When you're aware of a pattern, when you're aware of something that is keep repeating itself, when you gain that awareness, that's when you actually get the chance to start doing something different about it. Because if you don't know what's going on, you're just kind of stuck in that loop, right? And you're just repeating it. But then when you stop and it's like, hold on, this keeps repeating, that awareness allows you to either keep doing the same thing or just doing something different about it.
Period. Yeah. And that's becoming her.
Yes, that's becoming her.
Awareness is a big part of that.
Yes.
I think there's also one that I shared maybe on October 14th. And it's
okay, receipts.
Look, okay, I had to pull
we're Tauruses. We're both Tauruses, both of us actually.
Look, okay, come on, Tauruses out there.
Yes,
all right,
Taurus baby.
But it says start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and I just really love that because I feel like a lot of people, even with this podcast, great example. I've been wanting to do one for a long time, but I just didn't know how to start. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, just start. It's really like nothing to it, but to really just go ahead and do it. Come on.
I feel like that was the biggest awareness throughout this whole journey. Just start.
Because
like there were so many things that I was like, it's like in the back of my mind, I knew that would have helped me, but there was just something not like just making excuses. I was like, oh, you know, like nobody would hear my podcast, or you know, like
just I don't have the right equipment. Like, you know, you could use your phone even if you don't have a camera, you know, and if you're somebody that's been wanting to do this or start a YouTube channel or blah 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 blah, you know, stop putting it off. It literally says use what you have, okay? And that means just use your resources. Whatever we have, we can make it enough if we choose to, you know. And I feel like, ooh, let me tie this into the spiritual, okay? God says, He says what you can do with little shows Him that you can handle more. So until you can steward what you have with the little amount, then He'll bless you with more. Okay? He's not going to give you more without realizing, without seeing, and you proven to Him that you can do enough with little. So if you can't do anything with your iPhone, if you feel like you can't do anything with your iPhone, He's probably not going to bless you with the camera. Or you know what I'm saying? The equipment that you really want. So just thinking of it like that, I think is a great aspect. And then it says do what you can, and that just means literally do what you can. Don't try to force it. Don't try to do something.
Don't overdo it.
Just make it organic. Do what you can. Yeah. So yeah, I love that. That was really good.
No, it definitely was. Well, there was actually another one too that I wanted to share. It's actually one from Mark Anthony, and it was this is definitely to the core probably of becoming her, but it would be, and one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and then not even she could hold herself back because her passion burned brighter than her fears. Period. Yes. Come on, fire. So,
and I think with that being, with us reading that quote, the colors that we use for the branding is black, red, and purple. And of course those are symbolic of something. Black,
she chose it because it was my favorite color.
Yeah. That too. Okay. And I really like purple anyways, so I really just like those three colors. It just made sense. But black of course has a negative connotation to it most of the time, but it also means luxury. So I kind of thought like we're trying to become her. Becoming her to me also includes living a luxury life, and we're gonna get there. Okay, we are gonna get there.
You know that song "The Other Side" by Jasmine Sullivan?
No, I need to listen to it.
Yeah, she's like, I just want to live. She's talking about like wanting, you know, I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm gonna find me a rabbit.
Oh, okay, yes, I do.
Yeah,
I have heard that song. She's talking about being
on the other side. You know, she's gonna be rich. She's gonna have, but that's sidetrack.
But yeah, and then what was another color? What was the other color? Purple.
Purple.
Red and purple. Red, of course, is like confidence, boldness.
Sexy. I think,
it also too. And I looked at some of the cons of red. It's like danger, warning. But at the same time, I liked warning because I was like, ooh, this is a warning. Okay, for anybody. This is like your time to go ahead and just become who you really want to be. Okay? A warning. If you are not becoming the best version of yourself, then you will never be satisfied in life. You will never be fully fulfilled in life. Okay? And then what was the other color? Purple. Purple was a lot. It said exotic.
Purple, man, this deserves to be pulled out.
I can't look. She's gonna read it for y'all.
Because honestly, there was like 17 different things.
Royalty,
exotic. Yeah,
I love that.
Okay, it was royalty, stability, energy, mystery.
Ooh,
and then exotic, creativity, femininity.
Period.
And then transitional color. That's interesting. Purple is considered a transitional color and is metaphysically between yin and yang. Oh, so that's kind of, you know, like neutral, you know, not being extreme on one way or the other, one side of the other, but it's just like transition, you know, like something in the middle.
Period.
And then sacred values, so like holy. And
okay, I like that though.
Next to God.
I feel like the colors it really makes sense for this podcast.
Yes, it does. It does for the meaning of the podcast. It does for us as people. It does for the meaning of the colors themselves. So, yeah. And honestly, they just look so pretty together too.
Period.
Like they really do.
Yeah, and y'all will see the once I get the branding together and like the logo and stuff. Trust me, it'll make more sense. But yeah, those colors, okay, they're symbolic. They describe us, and I think it was just a good tie-in to what they said about being fierce and like full of fire. So, wanted to go ahead and describe those to y'all. But let's keep it moving. So, just kind of want to briefly explain to you all what like self-love, self-discovery, discipline, femininity, and confidence. Basically, why do these matter to me? I would say personally, I think that they're, I kind of neglected these things for a while, honestly. I think now as I'm stepping into my womanhood, they're starting to make more sense. I think, like I said, I was repeating the same cycles. And this is not only pertaining to relationships. I am a big person that I'm a habit person. So when something becomes a habit, it's just...
Would you say habit or would you say you're structure based? And I ask because like that's how I am. And you know, we're both Tauruses. A lot of things we're the same. But it's like, I used to think that I made the habit out of a lot of things. But then I realized that I am really an extremely structured and process-based person. So it's
like a routine?
Yes. So it's like I need to create a routine in order for me to function. And it's like I created a routine at work. I created a morning routine. And so once I find that routine, I just kind of stick with it. So I guess it does become a habit, but it's a habit just because I need that structure, you know? So
yeah, I think...
is it the same thing maybe now that I'm talking about it?
I don't know because I'm thinking of it like when it comes to relationships, finances, like anything. I just, let me just say, I lacked discipline. That's what it was. I was making bad decisions and I just kept on doing it, expecting a different result. So I think maybe that's not a habit. That's just bad decision making.
All the above.
Bad decision making. Let's just jump there.
The point is we ain't doing that no more.
Basically. So why do those things matter? It's because you cannot keep making poor decisions and expecting to see
different results,
a fruitful life. Yeah, you really just cannot. And then as far as femininity goes, I was a tomboy in high school, honestly.
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Even in elementary school, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I never shared that, but yeah,
I never did.
Was definitely a tomboy in my earlier years of life.
That explains why you like a little bit of fits. That you're like even those shorts that you got.
Yeah,
me
right.
too. Like
the little swag,
and stuff. Yeah.
Period.
I mean, either like super girly or super tomboyish.
There's no in between.
That's funny.
But I was a tomboy, so for me, femininity was never really just... I mean, of course, I saw my mom. She was a feminine woman. She still is. But I was just like, why do I have to get up and put on earrings? Why do I have to get up and like, you know what I'm saying, do something to myself? I just want to go. You know? And so I think femininity is something that I have recently tapped into. It's not even just anything that I've been doing for like a whole bunch of years. Maybe once I started dancing... that is when I think the femininity sort of like just naturally
came out a little
bit. And I was like, oh, it feels good to be a woman.
But what brought you to dancing? Like, because you know, dancing, especially because you started with heels dance, right?
I just jumped right into it.
And that's already pretty feminine, even just simply by looking at it. So what was that thing that was like, because you know, I want to say if you had no femininity at all, you probably wouldn't have been, you know, like that interested, because that is very feminine. As soon as you see heels, it, like even if you don't move, like just a woman with heels, it's really feminine itself.
That's true. What made me jump into that? Yeah,
there might have been maybe like an artist or something.
Yeah. The person that inspired me to look, okay, that inspired me to get into the heels was Aaliyah Janelle. Ooh. I had seen her on there was a viral video going around of her, I think, when she was doing Itty Bitty Piggy by Nicki Minaj. But it was hardcore. It wasn't even really just like a sexy combo. I saw her dancing in them heels and was like, I need me a piece. You know what I'm saying? Because the year before,
that's how I had you. I saw her. Period. I saw her on a showcase, and I was like, that's how I want to be.
Period. Okay. But I just loved that not only was she feminine, but she was very powerful. Like in the movement, it was very, it was like, it wasn't like she was being all, she was bucking, like she was getting to it, but it was still very feminine to me.
I feel like it was like the confidence.
Yeah, the confidence.
It was like, oh, she's sensual, but she's taking her room.
Yes.
Like she's
owning the space.
She's owning the space.
Yeah.
Yes. She's owning the floor. I see that.
So for me, femininity now is super important to me. I feel like I can do a lot better as far as just taking better care of myself, period. Like a skincare routine, hair care routine. Like I feel like I can get deeper into those things. So if you all have any tips for femininity, let us know in the comments as well. But for me, I think femininity is a big focus for me right now, on top of course, self-love and self-discovery, and just kind of getting to know myself more and love on myself more. But which one of those themes are most important to you?
I feel like discipline is a big one for me. Discipline is something that I'm definitely trying to incorporate in my life and that I struggle with. I've always struggled with, and it's like it goes from discipline in eating. You know, I would be younger, I would overeat. Discipline in waking up, because when I tell y'all 7 times out of 10 I'm late for work, or discipline into just being on time anywhere. And that's definitely been one of the main focuses for me through this journey, and one of the most important things, because I think that discipline, that again, I'm a structure-based person, so that's what helps you ground yourself and stop feeling like you're spinning around. Because it's like, when you have discipline, you know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, like you're disciplined with it. I started going to the gym, you feel more in control. And so in control, not only of yourself, but of your life. So it's like, okay, I can wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym. I can write on my journal, at night. And it's like, it's something that it takes discipline to do, because you can go to the gym one time and then don't go anymore. You know what I mean? That was me my whole life. I'm on day 3 now. So,
period. Day 3A, like, baby steps.
That's what we're working on, discipline there, But, and I definitely think that, dance played a huge part in it, into giving me that starter for discipline, because that was one of the very first things in my life that I've been disciplined since day one. I had such a passion that I found out, that I discovered towards it, that I was like, okay, in order for me to get better, because I had no rhythm, no moves, in order for me to get better, like, I need to keep going. I need to keep practicing. I can't just do 1 class a week and then maybe don't go anymore. So that was a promise that I made to myself. And actually, it's funny, because dance really came from a place of wanting to love myself, because at the time, I remember I was a manager for a furniture store, and I was literally working 50 hours a week. My life was just homework, work, home, homework, work, home. My shift was 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh.
Yes.
Dang.
So it's like, it was a lot. And I remember I felt very unhappy, because I was like, okay, well, like, what else am I doing? I'm just, okay, I'm making money, but, what else is there? And so I was like, okay, I need to do at least one thing for myself. Actually, shout out to him. It was Sunny, which he used to be the CEO of the company that I used to work for. He put me into a training. It was like a training development for leadership and management. Okay. And that was the very first thing that started my growth, I want to say.
Nice.
That is where I've learned awareness gives you choice. And that is where I've learned also another important phrase, progress over perfection.
Yes.
I've learned a lot of just mechanical things that happen in your mind, when you're in the middle of drama. Well, maybe we'll have an episode about it, because that's a lot of useful resources and information that I still nowadays use, and I would love to share with everyone, to be honest. Yeah, he was like, if you feel burnt out, because I didn't feel burnt out at work. I could handle work. He was like, if you feel burnt out in life, you need to just do something for yourself in life. And he challenged me to do one thing a week for myself. And I still remember he mentioned, if you make an appointment at work or whatever the case is to the doctor, you go. And if you don't go, you reschedule it, right? Whether that it's the next week, the next day, or a month after. Same thing with yourself. Take an appointment with yourself. And if you don't follow through with that appointment, reschedule it. So that's how I started thinking, okay, what could I do for myself? And people used to make fun of me because of how I would dance, because I had no dance moves. But I've always loved dancing. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I can learn. So I signed up for these classes that were close. And And yeah, that's how my journey of self-love initially started, and then it just kept going. But consistency, discipline was definitely a big part. Femininity too, also, mostly because after my divorce, well, to be honest, even throughout my marriage, I had to fulfill more of a provider, I guess, position.
Like role.
Role, exactly. And then after I separated, after my divorce, it was just me. So I still have to fulfill that role, where I would have to, make sure that everything was taken care of. And I feel like that put me somewhat into more of a masculine energy, just because I had to take that role because nobody else was there to do it. You know what I mean? No, nobody.
That makes sense.
And so then that's, as I started dance, because it all went together. As I started dance, that's when I started to tune in more with my femininity, and I started liking it. I was like, okay. Well,
felt sexy.
Okay. I kind of do.
Hello.
Ooh, that's me.
Look, okay. So, that isn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. Period.
Yep.
I love the journey. I love the stories. I love backstories.
Yes.
It just all makes everything make sense, because you're like, this is why I am the way I am. So that comes with the self-discovery.
Yep. Totally.
Really taking inventory of pretty much every situation that you go through in life. And that's kind of hard to do. But here recently, I even write down things. The moment they happen and they bother me, I put them in my notes. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to figure out, where did that stem from? Why did that bother me? What was said that triggered me? You know what I'm saying? So just taking inventory, that's going to help you with your self-discovery journey. But yeah,
I add something to that. I think that and I was guilty of that too. I think that a lot of people, when they're going through tough times, for whatever reason it can be, whether that is because you can't find what you're looking for, because you're trying to break out of generational trauma, or whatever the case, the scenario is, I think that a lot of people struggle with just sitting with themselves and their own pain. It's not easy. It's definitely easier to play video games, or to drink, to smoke, or to just constantly be busy, because that's another thing too, always, never allowing yourself to have a moment with yourself, and always making plans, always being on the go. All of those things, they're somewhat almost distractions that don't really allow you to take a moment, to sit there and think, okay, why am I feeling this way? And I think that that's the biggest thing, being able to just take the time to force yourself to sit there and be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through. Just trying to connect the dots, because nobody else can connect the dots as good as you, because you're the one that lived everything. You lived every single second of your life. You can tell other people what you've been through, and they can try to put them together for you, but you are the one that will be able to actually make that be like, oh, yep, that's what it is. I went through that thing when I was little, and that made me into this.
Yeah, in our fast, we did a 7-day fast together from men and social media, and that 7 days was beautiful. That's the most peaceful I had felt. It again, self-discovery. It just gave you time to sit with yourself, sit with your emotions, and literally eliminate the distractions. And I feel like when you're doing self-discovery, and when you're on a journey that is as crucial as figuring out yourself and your self-love and pouring back into yourself, it is crucial not to have those type of distractions. And not saying that all men are distractions, but let's be real. And even women, I'm sure, that come into men's life, most men that come into your life, they're not necessarily pouring or contributing into your vision, or into your self-love, or into any of that. It's more so taken away.
Entertainment in a way.
And when you're just entertaining somebody for the heck of it, that's taking away. You're pouring from your cup.
Yep.
And then you're gonna be like, why do I feel empty?
Into yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do I feel empty? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So just being realistic with yourself and what you really want. So do you really want somebody just to be sitting there to entertain? You know what I'm saying? Or do you want longevity? Do you want something real? Do you
genuine connection?
Literally. So be careful with that. I would say that is a big piece of advice that I could give to anybody that might be younger than me, or somebody that may be going through it right now. I would say, take the time. Eliminate your distractions. Even if it's just for a few days. Trust me, it'll open your eyes.
And I know that it's alrighty. Well, we're back. The camera got hot, and we took a little break. It was just a little break, but it's okay. It was needed. So let's go to the second and eventually final part of this first episode.
You're good. Look, one thing we're going to give y'all is authenticity, okay? Absolutely. So if you can't appreciate it or respect it, then this ain't the channel for you. Respectfully. Okay.
So I believe we were talking about dance, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, well, we mentioned it before. Dance played a big part in both of our lives when it comes to our development as people, as women, our femininity, our discipline, and so on. Did you have, out of curiosity, did you have an artist that you think might have like impacted your journey, through this journey?
I feel like the artist that really exudes becoming her is Beyonce.
Period.
Like, honestly, I'm just like, and even her music just makes me feel like I'm that girl. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. Of course, there's some songs of hers that are like more emotional and stuff. But even then, it's like she's being raw. She's being authentic. Yes. She's being real. And those lyrics are coming from an authentic place. And for me, definitely Beyonce is inspiring when it comes to being that girl. Okay? She minds her business.
Yes.
She's very private.
Mm-hmm.
She handles her business. And she's a hard worker.
I think like also on the family side, it's kind of inspiring because
a mom,
a
wife.
Even like with everything, the drama that might have happened like between her and Jay-Z, they always kept it private, and it looks like they've always been very capable of working it between them. Now, of course, you never know what's going on behind open doors or closed doors. Language barriers. But yeah, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. But it seems they've been lasting, so whatever they're doing is working.
Yeah, for sure. What about you?
Me.
I knew she was ready for this moment.
I mean, if y'all don't read it, it says Team Breezy.
Period. Okay.
I mean, I know it's not a female artist, but he definitely played a huge part into just like my self-discovery. First and foremost, when it comes to accountability, everybody knows that Chris Brown made mistakes, but he's always been a very big advocate of taking accountability, working on yourself. Mm-hmm. And that was just like really like a huge life lesson. And he also poured into me when it comes to just like finding, discovering myself, because he's very passionate about different things, dancing, painting and so on. And just seeing him, which I'm a huge fan, I've been following him for like 10 years, seeing him getting into all these different things that would help him express himself, just kind of, created that little trigger in my mind where it's like, okay, maybe I can try it too. Like, I wonder if it could work for me too. And so he actually did inspire me to dance. That's why, I would try to dance, and maybe I didn't know how to do it, but I was like, you know what, maybe I can learn how to do it. But it still started from seeing him. And so I think that he did have a huge impact into just like my persona.
Period. I like that.
And especially in the dancing, because again, he's such an amazing dancer that if it wasn't for me being so passionate about him, I would have never got into dance as I am today. So
I like that.
One time, that video where the girl dances for him and he's just sitting on the chair? That's gonna be me next.
Period. Okay.
In a few years of training with Nina Simone.
I cannot.
And we'll be there.
All right. Period. What's next? Let's see what we got on here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me share this with y'all. Okay, because this is some good stuff. So. Before we hop off, we don't have too much longer. We're not going to hold you guys for too much longer. But basically what I hope to achieve with this podcast is I'm more of an impact over quantity. You know what I'm saying? The followers, that really does not matter to me. Relative. I think we both can agree that we're more so here for the impact. And however we can help in whatever way, however we can serve and be used as a vessel, that's what we're going to do. So I think I just want to achieve the impact. I just want to achieve impact in one person, even if it's just one person out there that says, you know what, y'all's words really helped me, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Me,
something.
Open my eyes. is, yeah.
That's it. And then whatever else comes with that, cool, bonus, great. You know what I'm saying? We're grateful, and we'll take that as a blessing. But the biggest takeaway for me is definitely the impact.
Yeah, same. Totally. No, totally the same for me. I think that I'm just, to me, I'm very grateful and also excited about the journey that we started, that we've been on. And it really helped me out so much mentally. If I think about where I was 4 or 5 years ago mentally, you know, going through my divorce and everything, I really was at the lowest point of my life, being with no family, no friends. It was just very hard. And thinking where I am right now and how powerful, how strong I feel despite everything that I went through, because I've learned how to push through it, I think that that's a huge blessing. And my thing is really that I've got lucky enough to go through, God put me through certain struggles and I overcame those, but it's like I'm eager to share the resources and the thoughts and the things that helped me out, because I wish I had somebody that was there to kind of guide me or listen to me or give me some advice or some opinion, and I really had no one. So that is really my intention for it. If my story, if my journey can even inspire and help one person, that I'm gonna feel fulfilled and satisfied, and I'm gonna feel like I achieved what I needed to, what God put me on this earth for. So that's my biggest thing, really.
That's good.
The hope that I can like, I'm here because I wanna spread love. I wanna do, you know, and we're here both in common. We have both of us have this in common. It's really just wanting to pour out there and to support, to elevate, to grow, to have other people grow with us. And we're not here to force anybody to grow, but it's like we're excited of all the tips and, you know, resources and tools that we found out that are helping us grow. And we're like, you know what? Maybe we should share them.
Because we're still on the journey. Like, we're not there.
So that we can empower other people to feel as, you know, as strong, as good as we are as we're going through the journey. And it's made up of up and downs. As Nina said, like, we're still going through it. We're still, you know, in the middle of it. But that doesn't mean that we can't share what we're learning as we go and what we've learned already. So.
Period. That's good. I know that's right. But I would say a big goal for me is working through my self-discipline, working to increase that, and also standing on my boundaries. So I want to say that through this journey, I'm going to pray that I'm able to exemplify those two things: discipline and standing on my boundaries. And I'm going to be real with y'all in each episode. I'm going to be like, now look, I was kind of, you know, I'll tell the truth, you know. So I just really want to be one that stands on business. Okay? And it's like,
you're always going to get authenticity from us.
Period. Every time. We'll be transparent. And then I want to be disciplined with my finances for sure. My, I can't say eating habits right now.
I have to give McDonald's and Starbucks.
One thing at a time. Okay? One thing at a time. But definitely my finances, because I spend way too much money on food. And then, what's another thing? Definitely, well, my social media intake has gotten a lot better, but I still kind of want to decrease my screen time some more. But unfortunately, I feel like what I do requires me to be on my phone, so that's kind of hard too. But there needs to be a balance, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm consuming isn't all just me doing this the whole day, you know? So being more disciplined with that, and then just standing on boundaries as far as friends. This goes for friends, family, maybe an intimate partner. It doesn't matter. I just want to be able to really like stand on what I say and what I will not accept, and not be like, oh, okay, well, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, because then you just start, your boundaries just start scooting over, and next thing you know,
that's having a weak boundary.
Next thing you know, the boundary ain't even there no more. So, you know, just really wanting to be stronger in that aspect. But that's a big goal for me personally. But yeah,
I think for me, my goals is definitely around discipline, just because I definitely do think that there are times where I just kind of like proceed or just run my life in autopilot. So I know that everything is kind of good and it could be better, but I just kind of go day by day. But I still feel unsatisfied with what happens, because I'm not doing really stuff with intention. And so having that discipline will allow me to just have more control over my life, and then just start heading a direction, doing things with intention rather than just sit there, and work and have things happening to me. So definitely discipline, which is something that I have been implementing. I started implementing through, like journaling or the gym or even just dance itself. Definitely boundaries for me too. My biggest thing though, it's really like around people pleasing, a lot around learning how to put myself first and not feel guilty for putting myself first, not feel bad for saying no. That has always been a huge component of my life, just people pleasing and worrying about what other people think, or even just simply suppressing my own feelings and emotions because I would feel bad for the other person, right? So it's like even if I don't want to do it, or if I'm too tired, I feel bad in saying no, and I would just push myself to do things that I didn't want to for partners, or even for friends at times too. So that has been my biggest thing, and then and then I think those two are the biggest ones for me, to be honest.
Period. Those are good though. So y'all, and we're basically at the end, so maybe some takeaways. Yes, the team. Who knows?
Well, oh yes. So, well, actually though, I mentioned it. So, like journaling, right?
Yeah.
So journaling, as I just mentioned, that was actually one of the small things that I started to do to create that discipline within my life. It helps me so much. One, because I have the discipline of actually telling myself, okay, tonight I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write. Mind you, I'm like one of the laziest person because my hand hurts. I hate the movement of writing because like my hand just starts hurting so quick, and like I just get so lazy. But I really have been writing like 6-7 pages. And I think it helps me so much in discipline. One, because I'm disciplined in doing it. Two, because the way that I do it, I just kind of like to tell and reflect about my day. And so that allows me to celebrate the wins as far as what I have accomplished. So I woke up, I was disciplined. I woke up at 5 in the morning. I went to the gym today again at 6 in the morning. So it just helps me reinstating the good things that I'm doing as far as working on my discipline. But then I also just kind of motivate myself for the day after. So I'm like, okay, like maybe at night I'm going to be like, okay, it's 11:30. I'm going to go to sleep now because I got to go to the gym. If I don't go to sleep now, if I don't stop writing now, then I'm going to be too tired to go to the gym. So it's a discipline itself, and then it helps me getting discipline in other parts of my life and staying consistent. So
ooh, yes, because for me, I'm glad she said that. For me, journaling has become so therapeutic for me. I've been doing it now for a couple months, but I want to say I'm way more consistent now than I was. But literally, me just being able to write out my emotions and my thoughts, it makes everything that much more clear. I feel like whenever I'm trying to talk about it, things can come off the wrong way. But when you write, you could just write whatever, because ain't nobody even going to take it a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I can say it however I want to say it. And I don't have to really think. It just flows easily because I'm not thinking about, is this going to hurt somebody's feelings or blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to really be authentic with the pen to the paper, I've fallen in love with it. And I will say that it has brought me so much more peace since I've been writing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that definitely tunes in with the distraction that we were talking about earlier, because that is something that allows you to focus on your life, on what's going on, rather than those things that distract you, right? So video games, phone, TikTok, guys, whatever could distract you. Journaling is just really something where you're pausing and you're spending some time in reflecting and thinking about your emotion, your life, what you're going through, and so on. And I definitely have you to thank for that, because she's been doing it for a while. For me, it's something that started it started
not long ago at all.
Not at all. Like honestly, consistently, it's been about a week. Consistently, like every day. I started when we went to Arkansas, which was 2-3 weeks ago. That's when I started it here and there, but not with consistency and discipline with it. But then about a week ago, that's when I just kind of made a promise to myself, and I started with more discipline, journaling and the gym. But it's really something really useful. I do think that it would help. I do think it helps anyone. I think that everybody knows in the back of their mind that it's useful, but it's really just a thing of, like just how we said at the beginning, you gotta do it. You know, it's just do it.
Start where you are.
Don't make the excuses.
Use what you can and do what you know. Use what you have. Do what you can. Period.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna help y'all do it. Cause we're gonna give y'all we're gonna give y'all a little thing to think about. So I want to challenge everyone to just like, and it can be really one page, cause that's how I started. I started with like one page. Now I'm at 6-7 pages because I talk a lot, as I can tell. But you know, like I got a lot to say. But yes, just to make it a little bit easier. And then if you guys feel comfortable, anonymously or not, I would love to maybe have some insights on what came out.
True.
But take 5 minutes today, or I would say maybe anytime this week.
This week, yeah.
Take 5 minutes today or anytime this week. These are my questions. Who do I want to become? Well, this is the question. This is the question. Who do I want to become? So just write a little something. Just reflect on who you are, and you know where you see yourself going, who you'd like to be. Whether that it's a singer, a doctor, you know, like a father, you know, or a mother, or whatever the case could be. But just take a moment to pause what you're doing and just take a moment to reflect on your life. Mm-hmm. Whether that you want to share it or not, that's okay. I'd be more curious to know how that made you feel, to just take that moment of pause to reflect on yourself, not necessarily the answer itself.
Yeah.
But just more as far as how that felt for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you that as annoying it is, you know, because it's like, oh, my hand is gonna hurt. That was my excuse this whole time. Like, I promise you that if you just get up and do it, it's gonna do something to you. It's gonna it's gonna unlock something.
Yeah. And with that, y'all, we are going to close it on out. Okay. A few things before we get out of here. So first of all, let's do let's do this first. We're gonna do read some becoming her meanings that we got from a few friends, a few people.
We asked what was it today?
Yeah,
we asked today to some of the
and the live. What does becoming her mean to you? Period.
So for this first episode, we really just wanted to
I spend way too much money on food. Okay, look, sorry y'all, I'm reading some of these comments on the live. And then when you said that you talk a lot, Cleo said long-winded gang. So I guess y'all are in the long-winded gang. Period. Okay, but real quick, we're going to read a couple things. So what does becoming her mean to you? So we have Diamond. She said, becoming her is unapologetically being the best version of me through Christ. Love that. Okay.
Yes.
Amen. Okay. Kaylin, she says, to me, becoming her means reaching the fullest version of who I am supposed to be, who God has created me to be. Love it. And then we kind of already described ours.
Yeah.
I feel like we described ours the whole episode.
I mean, yeah. We spent the whole episode.
That's all right. We don't have to reread ours. We can do that another time. But Chi Chi, she says, becoming her to me means recognizing the power I possess and not apologizing for it. It means knowing who I am and whose I am, God's child. It means living authentically and finding my passion and purpose according to God's will. Period. And we have two more. Naya, she says, becoming her is being unapologetically you, living in your truth, whether people accept it or not. As long as you love yourself and your steps and actions are aligning with where God is placing you, no outside factors will deter you. Yeah. It means you won't make mistakes, but instead of giving up, you correct. Or it doesn't mean you won't make mistakes, but instead of giving up, you correct yourself with grace. Love it. Yes. Absorb the lesson and proceed back to handling business. Yeah. It's knowing your worth and not letting someone's dusty son / daughter. It says / daughter too.
That's
so
daughter.
Okay, because the women out here. I know that's right, Naya.
Who hurt you?
No. Dusty son / daughter, or whoever made you feel less than. You recognize that you are who God says you are, and you are the daughter of the King. Most importantly, she makes space for other women because we can all win at the same time. Yes. Love that. And last but not least, that was really good.
We can all win at the same time. Because I'm sorry, I'm going to tune in on that, but I am such a girl's girl. Like, I am all about girls supporting other girls and, you know, just having other girls back, because we are in this together. There's nobody that can understand you as much as another woman. You know what
Literally.
I mean? So it's like, I'm all about it.
Love that. Come on, Naya. Clock that. Okay. And last but not least, Jazz. Truly locking into your goals and everything you want for yourself and letting nothing get in the way. Period. I feel like there's so many definitions. There's no right or wrong answer to that question. I think there's so many meanings of what becoming her could be, and everybody's going to have a different meaning. So I love hearing all these different meanings. And we would just love to hear what becoming her means to you all. So maybe in the comments, you can let us know, or even just messaging us separately on Instagram, and we'll drop our ets in the description box. But to close it out, I just want to, first of all, personally thank Julia for joining me on this journey, because, you know, low-key, I was kind of nervous to do it alone. So I feel like ever since we've met, we've kind of, like she said before, we're going through the same type of things, and it just made sense for her to be a part of this and the co-host. And yeah, I think she brings a very refreshing approach and a refreshing perspective, because me, you know, a girl, there she go, she's the emotional source. I am. I cannot, but yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come. We both want to thank you for tuning into the first episode. Absolutely. Again, we're learning along the way, so grant us some grace. Yeah, do you have anything you want to say?
No, yeah, we're learning. We're not here to teach. We're here to share, and we're here to learn and grow all together. There's no right or wrong definition. We're all here to just get on a journey, and we're just hoping to reach to some people's hearts and get more people on the journey with us, whatever their journey is. But we're all going to be together through the journey. So.
And just let us know what you all would like to see, or, you know, what we should discuss moving forward. We would love your guys' input, and some topics that we can talk about. Of course, we have our own ideas, but we would love to know what you guys would want to hear.
Get you guys involved.
Yeah. And then last but not least, of course, just follow us on Instagram at Nina Simone _. And then, baby, you gonna have to. You ain't go yet.
Now y'all get the pen and start type writing, cause it's at. Now my name is Julia, but it's spelled Giulia _Brunetti, and then right, come on now, and that's BRUNETTI. So
period.
Yes, Julia Brunetti, GIULIA.
So follow us.
A lot of people misspell it.
They know they do, because I didn't know it was spelled like that at first. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, follow us on Instagram. Also, like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. And again, leave us a nice little note, or, you know, anything
to show some love.
Yeah.
Show some love.
No negativity on this podcast.
Not here.
Look, I just had to end it with that. But yes, and we will see you all next week. Stay tuned every Monday at 8 p.m.
Thank you.
Period.